Good evening and welcome to the left, right and centre, our ongoing coverage of the crisis in Chennai, the capital of Tamil Nadu and one of India's biggest metropolitan cities. The city is desperate. Fresh downpours have worsened an unfolding disaster. People are stranded either in their homes or in their offices. Food and water are in short supply. Schools are shut. Thousands of people in low-lying areas are particularly at risk. Major roads are unusable. Our correspondents are all across the city reporting on this disaster. My colleague Uma Sudhir now joins us first from the CIT colony in Chennai. Uma, first of all, tell us what's happening on the ground around you right now. Has the rain stopped at this point in time?
Maya, the rains have stopped. It has not been raining at least for the last couple of hours. In the afternoon, there was a downpour for 3 to 4 hours and that really made everyone tense. But much more worrying than the rains and the downpour has been the rising levels of the waters that are flooding the streets of Chennai. When we were reporting on rains about 10 days ago in Chennai, we were talking about Tambaram, Krompet, the Velacheri, all the outlying areas in fact being flooded and people being marooned. But now you're talking about the heart of Chennai experiencing flood waters. In the afternoon, we didn't have waters here. If I may show you the roads, in fact, all through, if you'll see, as you go inside, the waters are getting more and more deep. Here you have about 1.5 feet of water, but as you go inside, it is getting more and more deep. And the worst part is in places like Kothurpuram, in places like Saidapet, people, the first floor of the houses have also got inundated and several people are on rooftops. We are in fact here on Chemiers Road. You are telling me that in fact since yesterday you have not you did not have any food in fact for the last 24 hours, and it was very difficult.
Yeah, it's very difficult because main thing is no power and no shop.
No shop to buy anything at all.
Yes.
But just now, of course, there are some individual who came forward, and that was something some of you came forward and in fact thanked them for having the sense to come and give you warm food, hot food, redistributed some, and you never thought you will be needing this kind of a rescue effort from someone else.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. You can see, no, that I don't know that what to say.
Yes, the situation certainly difficult, ma'am. You were telling me that water, in fact, the milk, in fact, was selling for 80 rupees a litre, half a litre for 40 rupees, and many items are not even available because shops are not open.
No, shops is not open. 2 days is not. Shops is not open. No electricity is very difficulty, ma'am.
Essential items not being able to be bought also. No mobile connectivity, and you said no food cooked in the house either because everything is underwater.
Yeah, the gas is also just flooded in the water, and how can we cook? The persons who are living in third floor and second floor, they are living, but the persons who are living in ground floor or first floor, they can't manage to how to eat also. And we can't able to cook. We just went to shop to buy something as bread or fruits like to eat. We can't able to buy that also because of price have been increased, auntie.
Actually many places, like in fact in the airport, the stocks are running out, and because the supply lines are not happening, because the roads that are to bring in the supplies, they are also blocked, inundated. So that is going to become a big challenge. And if last night was a big challenge, the next 2 days are also going to be not easy at all, because the Met Office is saying next 48 hours are going to be critical. We did see Adayar River overflowing. We saw the Chembarambakam Reservoir still releasing a lot of waters. In fact, the pressure of the waters, I must say, has been increasing ever since the afternoon, since the morning, and steadily increasing since the last few hours, Maya. So things not at all looking good here. If the NDRF, Army and Air Force are there, people are happy for it, but they want the operations to be scaled up, because in the city itself we have not seen so much of a presence, nor any aerial sorties, because we must remember that in several areas people are there on their rooftops asking for help, asking for food, and they're not getting it from anywhere because it's not physically possible to reach those areas. A few boats were there, but they're really minimal in number at this point in time, and that's why we are seeing a sense of panic also, because no electricity, people can't get information about what is happening around them, no buses, trains have been stopped. since yesterday evening. Airport in fact is completely closed since 8 p.m. yesterday, and in fact there is so much of an inundation in the airport that we don't expect that anytime soon that is going to open up. And also the road leading up to the airport itself is flooded, and the danger is that the Saidapet bridge, the Adayar bridge, the Kuturpiram bridge, all of them very much under the risk of some kind of a flooding happening, and people are really keeping their fingers crossed. Maya?
Right, Uma, thanks very much for joining us with all those updates. Grim situation as you are describing it right now. Tejas Mehta also joins us from Sri Perumbudur in the state as well. Tejas, we know that the situation in Chennai is very grim at this point in time. It's nothing short of a major crisis. What's happening where you are?
Well, Madam, just make you understand the scale of the impact of these unprecedented rains. I was yesterday in Marathwada where there's not a single drop of water, and we came down to Bangalore from there. And from Bangalore to Kanchipuram, there isn't much trace of what's really happened. There are, of course, it's cloudy and it's drizzling, but we did not see any flooding. But after Kanchipuram, suddenly we saw a lot of flooding, heavy rains, and all the way up to, it continues then and goes up to Chennai. So from Chennai inland about 40 kilometers, that's the impact and scale of these unprecedented rains and flash floods. Now, in many villages, roads have been completely cut off. We went to several villages in Kanchipuram district. They have been totally cut off, and villagers are, risking their lives, going into sometimes waist deep, knee deep water, which are often snake infested, because they need to get some food back for their families. So they are doing all of that. We did not see much, presence of the administration. Really, the villages where we went to, they said nobody has come. In fact, they're the first people that they have seen. They think, of course, as Uma was pointing out, we would have got some food or something for them. But they are saying neither the administration or the media has at all reached there. So we were the first to reach there, and they were saying that if the waters were really high yesterday. Today it has come down, but still flowing very, very fast and with a lot of force in many of the interior areas of Kanchipuram and Sri Perumbudur district. We just now went to another village in Sri Perumbudur, and there we found, as we just entered, that the women were complaining, but at that same moment we saw a box full of fresh loaves had just come in, and that had been sent by the local councillor, who is an independent, not associated with any particular party. So that much seems to have been done, but thankfully the impact is naturally maximum in Chennai, and then as it goes inwards it recedes. So in Sri Perumbudur and Kanchipuram it's much less than compared to Chennai. Certainly waters have receded, electricity has come back, but yes, the telephone network, the mobile network is not working there. Emails are working sometimes, WhatsApp is working, but not, it's impossible to make a call and very difficult to get a call from someone else here. Maya?
Right, Tejas, thanks very much for joining us from Sri Perumbudur. Uma Sudhir from CIT Colony in Chennai as well. We'll keep coming back to you for more updates, but let's just bring in my colleague Swati Tyagarajan, who's joining me in the studio for more on this. Also, we're being joined by Sitaraman Shankar, the editor of Views of Hindustan Times, in the studio with us. D. Raja joining us from his residence in Delhi as well, Rajya Sabha MP, and also from Tamil Nadu. Mr. Raja, I want to actually ask you first, when you look at these pictures on television from Chennai, they've been coming in now for a couple of weeks, but instead of getting better, the situation seems to have actually just been exacerbated with every passing day. What do you think? What do you make of what's going on?
Definitely, as you said, the situation is getting very grim, and we will have to make all preparations to meet any eventuality. It is a big challenge, not only before governments, whether it is state government or central government. It's a big challenge before the people. I must salute the people of Tamil Nadu, the people of Chennai, and the people of in the districts around Chennai, because they are the real first foot soldiers who get into the rescue operations, saving the human lives saving whatever they can save possibly. So I must salute the people and their determination. But at the same time, people alone cannot face this challenge. The governments will have to get into action, and the government should deploy all forces at its command. Army, Navy, all forces, security forces, and government must ensure the supply of safe drinking water, supply of food, because people need food and they cannot cook food because every place is flooded and they cannot sit and cook. People need food, people need safe drinking water, people need adequate health care, because this leads to health hazards. We don't know what kind of infections or bacterial infections they will get. This is a very serious situation. Already hundreds of people have died, and it can lead to a very serious humanitarian crisis, and the governments will have to get into action. And I hope not only the state government or central government, even other state governments, other agencies, they all can come together. It is an hour of great challenge and grave crisis.
Thank you, sir. I just want to go across to Vineet Subramani, a lawyer from Chennai. Vineet, I spoke to you a little bit earlier. You said that you drove from where you live, which is pretty much on one end of South Madras, all the way towards Chetpet, which is, North Madras. And you did get through. So some of those roads at least functioning and working. So couldn't those roads, would you think that those roads would possibly be open for supplies to come through?
Definitely, those roads are not just open and functioning, those roads are perfectly clean. There was a little bit of water stagnation along Greenways Road, which is surprising given that our ministers and judges live along that road. But other than for a few patches here and there of water stagnation, I drove from Kotivakam to Chetpet and back again. I didn't have any trouble at all.
So, Vineet, you were saying that one of the problems is that they're releasing water from the reservoirs, but they're not letting people know in enough time when they're doing that. Because if they could, then at least people could stay away when the river is in spate, when that extra water is released. And you also mentioned something about them not timing it correctly with the tides.
So the issue is that, A, there is absolutely no information. So right now we're running on the rumor mill. We're told that 20,000 cusecs will be released, 35,000 cusecs will be released, 5,000 cusecs will be released. Nobody is really clear as to when and how much water will be released and at what point of time which areas will be affected by that release of water. And I think it would do a lot to reassure the public if they knew, for instance, that the water being released would reach the sea at the time of low tide so that the water would be drawn out. That information, I think, is crucial, and the government has actually, it's virtually impossible to get official information. I stopped a policeman in the morning to ask him whether the Adia bridge was going to be closed, and he said he has no idea at all. And there are people standing on the Adia bridge taking photographs of the rising water, and there's nobody there to tell them to move away because who knows when the water which is released is going to be coming there.
And last question, Vineet, there's no electricity. You said the electricity board said there may not be electricity for 48 hours and that's causing citizens to panic quite a bit and make a run on supplies?
That's right. Once again, there's a lack of official information, but if you catch hold of an electricity board official, we've not had power the whole day. A lot of areas have not had power from yesterday. And 3 or 4 different people have told me that we should not expect power for another 48 hours. When, once again, this is a rumor mill. A couple of electricity board officials have told me this themselves, but once again they say this is not official, there is no official notification on this, but we are telling you, sir. So this is causing a panic amongst people. WhatsApp messages are being spread across, and there is now a run on fresh drinking water, milk. Maggi noodles has made a major comeback because of this. So I guess Nestle is laughing all the way to the bank. But the rest of us are in the dark, quite literally.
Thank you, Vineet. Thank you for that update. And I sincerely hope at least the electricity comes back soon enough to start helping people, because Maya, I mean, I can't imagine how rescue operations, if they have to happen, will happen in the dark at night.
Right. In fact, Mr. Raja was also talking about sort of the grimness of the situation before we went across to Vineet. Mr. Raja, you heard that report, in a sense, an eyewitness, a citizen's report from Chennai right now about the situation. You know, Swati is talking about no power for 48 hours. Essential supplies are extremely short right now in homes. People can't get out. What are you seeking in terms of the state government at this point in time and assistance from the centre as somebody from Tamil Nadu?
Actually speaking, the situation is getting worse. Another 48 hours or 72 hours, what will happen? We are all very much scared and worried. The electricity is not available because all electrical lines are in the water, and power cut has taken place, and many TV channels are off the air, and in such a situation panic will work in the minds of the people, and rumors will spread fast, and that will lead to again panic. And it is a very serious situation. People should be informed, and people should know actually what is the problem which they are going to face in another 24 hours or 48 hours. How we can do this is for state government to deploy the officials, the bureaucrats in whatever way possible to reach out to the people and to tell them what is happening around them. This is number one. And they should try to organize drinking water and food, and they should try to take people to safe shelters. This all state government, of course with the help of Army, Navy and other security forces, because the central government is assuring that they are deploying all forces possible to help Chennai and Tamil Nadu, the government to face the situation. This is happening. And as far as money is concerned, in fact the state government has announced some relief, and the central government has announced some funds, and now the central team already in Chennai, they are stranded there, they are not coming back. And today in the parliament we asked the central government to send another team to do fresh assessment of the situation, of the damages, of the losses, of all destructions and what people need today. And the central government has agreed. In fact, we have made another proposal also. It should be declared as a calamity of severe nature, so that the members of parliament from the state of Tamil Nadu, they can allocate their funds up to 50 lakhs for the relief work, and the members of parliament from other states also can join in this collective effort, and we are discussing inside parliament apart from whatever the central government has to give, because this can be declared as a national calamity, and the center can allocate money accordingly once it is declared as national disaster. And our disaster management also must become proactive to give the information and to suggest ways and means to overcome the situation today.
Okay, Mr. Raja, thanks for your comments. I'm going to bring in Sitaraman Shankar, the editor of reviews of Hindustan Times. You're having your Hindustan Times Leadership Summit this weekend, and you're going to be talking about, you know, whether India is the world's next bright spot. Now, when you see images like what we're seeing from Chennai, you know, how does that tie in with this idea that this is the next destination, whether it's in terms of economy, whether it's in terms of, you know, anything, tourism, whatever people might want to come to? We're grappling climate change in real ways on the ground.
Indeed, thank you. In fact, yeah, we have the PM and the FM at the summit, so we're looking forward to that greatly. And the theme of the summit, as you just said, is can India be the world's bright spot? Now, Tamil Nadu, in fact, has been one of the bright spots in India. I mean, not to forget, this is a huge humanitarian disaster, but it's also a big economic disaster as well. If you look at some of the figures, it's a $150 billion economy. It's about the size of Bangladesh. It's been growing well. It's an IT hub. It's an auto hub. And our reporters are telling us that all that has been severely disrupted. Some of the auto factories have shut down temporarily. There's been severe disruption in IT. At a local level, obviously, this is about prices of milk doubling, prices of tomatoes doubling, supplies running out, that sort of thing, people not being able to charge laptops, cell phones, not able to get to work. But at a macro level, this has a lot of serious ramifications for the state as a whole. Now, I think Mr. Raja mentioned the central assistance to Tamil Nadu. Jayalalitha has been asking after the 23rd, around the 23rd, which was after the first round of rains, she asked for about 9,000 crore. Now, after that, I think it's got steadily worse, and it threatens to get even worse as the next few days go on. So that figure may really double. And if you go back to Uttarakhand in 2013, I read figures of insurance claims of about 3,500 crores. Obviously, a massive humanitarian disaster there, but the figures in terms of loss of profit and damage on the ground in Tamil Nadu seem to be much bigger. Now, reports reaching us says IT companies are severely hit, people working from home. Soaring in Allur, which is one of the hubs of the IT industry, has been crippled. Production has been hit at Renault, Ford, Daimler, and some of the other auto companies. And a central minister I met recently, who had been to Chennai after the first round of rains, came back and said that the small and medium enterprises were especially badly hit, and she anticipated even then that it would take about 3 months for them to be back on their feet. So, I mean, I hate to think how that is going to pan out now. A lot of damage to equipment. These people are facing a pretty hopeless near future, at least.
And Sitaram Shankar, it's interesting that you say that, because yes, Tamil Nadu has done extremely well for itself as a state in terms of just, as you said, the IT, the auto industry. There's so much manufacturing. It's pretty robust economy on its own for a state. But in a sense, some of the problems that we're seeing right now is because in that rush to get there, in that rush to push all that through, the auto industry, the manufacturing units, those IT colonies, it's just been pear-shaped when it's come to how they've gone about planning it. I mean, they have done this entire rush to be economically powerful on an extremely weak ecological foundation. If one thing we've learned over and over again is that any level of economic progress we make can absolutely be eaten up by an ecological disaster, and an ecological disaster of what's happened in Chennai, of course, unprecedented rains, but a lot of it has to do with the fact of completely bad urban development. The IT corridor is a mess because they've gone and built the entire thing on a marsh, the Pallikaranai marsh. It used to be a 50 square kilometer area. 90% of it has been taken over by these IT companies, and now they're sitting in neck deep water and everyone is bemoaning the fact that this is a tragedy. So in that economic push that India is madly doing, we are ruining the very thing that gives us a foundation.
Indeed, I agree absolutely. Successive governments have gone merrily building on floodplains, they've built on riverbeds, they've choked the drainage. And this is the product of...
Can I just interrupt you for a moment, actually, because we're being joined now by the director of the NDRF, who's joining us live, Mr. O.P. Singh. Thanks for giving us some of your time. We know you're extremely busy with what's going on in Tamil Nadu and indeed Chennai. Give us a sense of what relief work is being undertaken right now by the NDRF.
Since last 24 hours, NDRF has been massively involved in relief and rescue work. Yesterday, that rain slashed out the entire city, and because of that, it flooded several parts of the city and adjoining areas as well. This has given rise to urban flooding. In order to tackle the situation, the NDRF sent 15 teams yesterday. In fact, 4 teams came early in the morning today. And we started doing our works. We fanned out to different parts of the city, different parts of the state, and we worked with in collaboration with the state government. We reached out to the people in various parts. We went to them. We tried to evacuate them. So far, we have already evacuated more than 500 people from different localities. We have our own life-saving equipments. We have boats. we have the divers, we have swimmers. What I found was that people were initially slightly reluctant to get evacuated, but somehow or other we could manage to get them. Most of them could be out from their houses. But of course, the situation is pretty bad because till yesterday the water level was rising. Fortunately today there hasn't been any rain so far, not in a very heavy sense, but IMD prediction is that there's going to be no respite from rains for another 2 or 3 days. So we are trying to get up for that eventuality. So today we decided to send some more teams. We have inducted 7 more teams from Delhi as well as from Bhubaneswar. They have landed a couple of hours back and they'll be working for the rescue works from tomorrow onwards. If need be, we can induct some more teams also. So this is the entire scenario of the adjoining districts as well as Chennai city.
Sir, I want to say, of course, the forces are doing a fantastic job and they're in many places and they're really working hard to try and help people. But one of the things that we're hearing a lot, especially from our reporters on the ground, is about certain areas in central Chennai and stuff where people haven't actually left because maybe the second floor of their homes or the third floors are still okay for them to stay in. But they're really struggling in terms of having no electricity and no, for the last 24 hours or 48 hours, no supplies or anything like that. So in situations like that where it's not immediate physical danger maybe, but in terms of really suffering and not being able to have access to supplies, even fresh drinking water, how does that work, sir? Or do you just only look at in areas where people are in immediate physical danger who need to be evacuated?
You are absolutely right. In such a situation, that connectivity plays a very important role. If you talk to a connectivity, you talk of entire gamut. Be it the rail connectivity, be it the train air connectivity, be it the power connectivity or the communication connectivity. In fact, the power has been off in some localities, but I have been told that they have been done deliberately because they fear, they suspect that some electrocution may not take place. So far as the communication network is concerned, yes, we are facing a lot of problem. We have our own setup for the communications. We are trying to establish that when we have contacted. Till yesterday, we couldn't be able to contact our own team leaders. So far as the air connectivity is concerned, the airport is shut, and because of that, our teams couldn't reach there and land there in Chennai Airport. Your second point is more valid because you've talked about the food stuff, you've talked about the clean drinking water and all that. Chennai is a very metropolitan town. It has industries, it has students community, it has automobile industries, all kinds of industries are there. The people are working from home, or maybe that they are not working at all because of the marooned state. I have been getting requests from various students, various organizations of educational importance. They have been asking us to get them vacated or get them evacuated. So yes, that problem is always there, and that would come in the second phase. Once the people are evacuated and taken to the safer locations, they will have the problems of clean drinking water, they'll have the problems of food and all that. At this point I would like to say that if the connectivity between Chennai and Bangalore is established, perhaps people would migrate to Bangalore to go get back to their homes. So that possibility should be looked into.
Right, sir, if I could just ask you, we're getting news coming in just now that Chennai Airport, the Airports Authority has said Chennai Airport is going to remain shut until the 6th of December. Now, something like this, how is it going to impact your work? Because, at the end of the day, a major hub in that part of the country simply closes, the runway cannot operate, the city is not operating. It's only the second, we're talking about 4 days.
Right. That would really affect the work. But so far as the deployment of forces and mobilization of forces is concerned, we are trying to explore, and we have already explored the nearby airports. Like we initially explored Tirupati, then we finally landed our troops in Rijoli, Navy airfield, which was very close to our battalion headquarters. So that exploration of all such things keep happening. But yes, from commercial point of view, the shutting or the closure of the airport is definitely going to be a bad news.
Right, sir. We're being joined by Tiruchi Shiva as well from the DMK, Rajya Sabha MP, who's joining us right now. Mr. Shiva, can I ask you your personal situation right now in Chennai with your family. What's going on in your residence? What are you seeing around you in your neighborhood, in your constituency?
No, sir, I'm in Delhi. Today we had a discussion here in the parliament about the floods in Chennai and the other parts of Tamil Nadu also. So I think we are in a position here to help the people through the central government. With the resources that are available with the state government, it is quite impossible to help the people or rescue the people who are in distress. So the central government's intervention and its assistance technically, logistically and morally alone would help the state government to help the people there. So we have urged the central government. They have taken cognizance and suo moto they are taking action. The Army, Naval Staff and our Air Force has also been asked to be there. And we have suggested that rescue and relief operations are the foremost now. For the news which they are coming are still alarming. And we are afraid the rains are to continue for 2 more days. We do not know what will happen to Chennai. So we are much worried about those people.
Yeah. Mr. Shiva, we are also hearing the Airports Authority of India is saying that the Chennai airport will remain shut until the 6th.
Yeah, the airport is stuck, no train connectivity, no road connectivity. So I think this situation we have never faced, maybe in the past 105 years they say. And the rains that have to come in the UK in a whole year, 2/3 of the portion have poured in Chennai in just 10 hours. So the people are not able to survive the situation, and we, the political parties, forgetting all our differences, have joined hands with the state government, and everyone is at help. But I am worried people are suffering without food for the past 3 days, without any drinking water. The epidemic diseases are to come, so I think the government's responsibility is more. And I think central government, we have suggested in a war-footed manner, they have to act.
Sir, but one of the problems that the airport is facing right now with the floods is because they've gone ahead and constructed it on the floodplain of the Adyar River. That's part of the reason that airport is so badly flooded. In fact, the second runway, they built on a higher level, saying that they'll try and build it higher than the 2005 flood level, and every environmentalist and everyone said that this is a really bad idea. But majority of that airport sits on the Adyar basin, the floodplains, and that is exactly what's also happened to vast areas of south and southern Chennai, is that there has been so much unchecked development that it's all sitting in the floodplains of a river that right now, yes, I completely agree with you that it's been unprecedented rain, but still it's a river that is running in spate with the water that has no place to go.
You are perfectly right. There are many things to be addressed in future. Many things we ignored, not we means not you and me. The governments in power or the people who are responsible, everyone has to. I think this is a very good lesson. First of all, we should get relieved of this situation because people are scared. The children, sick people and old age are so much in distress. So first step is this. Then we have to sit and discuss and put a stop to all these things, that such a thing should not happen in future. Even if such a natural calamity happens in future, the city must be in a position to take it. Such measures should be taken.